welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this right here. The NBA is over. The NBA is over. Folks, this is what I'm going to say amidst the same talk, right? The LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, Rich Paul, other LeBron cronies in the Jordan versus LeBron debate. And again, this is only a debate because it's no debate. And when we talk about it's not a debate, we're not talking about, okay, LeBron James is right there. 1 and 2. Because if LeBron James was number 2, he could settle for number 2. He would be okay. If LeBron James, according to his fans, were number 1, if he was number 1, he would just be number 1. And what I'm saying is, if LeBron James, because this has been the census, right? Since the 2020 bubble, since he was 4-6 until now, he's been 1 or 2 according to the basketball NBA media and the LeBron fans. So what I'm trying to say is, from 2020 until today, if LeBron James is either 1 or 2, what's the debate? Why are they still debating this? Because the reality is, if LeBron James would have retired from 2020 until today, he wouldn't be 1 or 2. Do you get it? Maybe that might be hard for you to understand. And that's why this thing keeps playing out over and over and over again. Being 1 or 2 isn't bad. We know 1 is the ultimate. But being number 2, okay, what's the debate about anymore? And if his fans think he's number 1, why hasn't he retired? Because there's nothing Michael Jordan can do to catch him if he's number 1 right now. If LeBron James feels like he's number 1, and that one there made him the greatest of all time, since 2016, he should have retired at that moment, because there was nothing in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 that Michael Jordan could do to make his case better to catch LeBron James. The fact is, LeBron James knows he's not number 1 or number 2. His fans know he's not he knows that his fans know he's not number 1 or number 2. ESPN, in Fox, in Fadeaway Sports, in all these outlets that has a 4-6 loser with 6 finals blowout losses. Yes, sir. All 6 of his losses in the finals were blowouts, sweeps, gentlemen sweeps, or 4-2s. And those 4-2s weren't even close in the fourth quarter. So again, 6 final blowout losses. This is what the media is trying to tell you, that LeBron James is basically number 2. And you'll have some nuts in there sprinkled in saying he's number 1, like the Nick Wrights and the Shannon Sharps, just so people will be convinced he's actually in the GOAT debate. Okay? So why won't this go away? Well, it's mainly because the NBA is trash, right? We knew the NBA was trash when we couldn't even put our rising stars on the floor and compete, right? The Halliburtons, the fake next Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards, Brunson. Who else was on that team? Josh Hart was on that team. Ingram was on that team. That was a pretty good team. What was it? Is it 2023 now, or is it 2024? I guess we want to say the 2023 FIBA, right? That's the team that didn't even place. And what I'm trying to say is, the NBA is so bad that we couldn't even put our young stars on the floor that got beat by the fake Rondo, Schroeder, and some German plumbers. That's who won the gold medal in the FIBA. In turn, we had to put in a turnover king, act like he was some, I don't know, great point guard, and they slid Curry, who is a point guard, over to shooting guard. So the turnover king could play point guard. We won't get too deep into that, but I'm just trying to tell you, this is how awful the NBA is, that we can't move on. And that Adam Sandler Silver, whatever the hell his name is, this clown, this rainbow flag waving, rainbow flag sounding, rainbow flag acting commissioner will not tell this 4-6 loser to move on. You had your chance. I mean, this guy had the biggest chance. 2 super teams in their primes, and you still got your butt whooped. You still got ran off the court. You still got humiliated. It didn't work out. So what does that tell you if he didn't have a super team? He basically wins no championships because let's just say he won 3 championships with a super team out of 5. No, actually. So he had a super team for 8 years, and he won three championships. And some people, we really want to count LA. A lot of people count that as a super team. That guy had the best center in the league at the time, Anthony Davis. Now, I want to look at this because I was talking about this morning. Michael Jordan, 6 championships, his regular season record, versus LeBron James, championship runs when he had the super team. So it's 8 straight championship to the finals runs. Or should we just say 8 finals runs in a row? We shouldn't affiliate him with championships. So look at this. So 91, when the Bulls won it, that year, and we're just comparing, because Michael Jordan never had a super team. Let me, again, before I even break this down, let us tell you what constitutes a super team. Other teams' number 1 franchise players. 3 of them. 3 of them, right? So, for instance, LeBron James, Wade, what's his name? And Bosh. Super team. In their prime. Guaranteed. Love. LeBron and Kyrie. Don't give me that, LeBron James and Kyrie was both Cavaliers. No, LeBron James wasn't there at the time. Super team. Kyrie was leading that team. Kyrie was he was the captain. He was the number 1 franchise player. So those 3 guys, franchise players of other teams. I know the Cavs is the same team, whatever, but that's still a super team. Next, Michael Jordan, name the time with him and 2 other guys, other teams' number 1 franchise players. 3 guys, other teams' number 1 franchise players, especially in their prime. Now, the big 3 Celtics, yes, super team. The 2000s, super team. But they were out their prime. We could say Miami, 05, 06, 07, super team. The majority of them was out their prime. Houston, Clyde Drexler, Elijah One, and Scottie Pippen, out of their prime. And then, take out Scottie Pippen, you got Charles Barkley with that crew, out of their prime. So if you can't name me the other 2 players that Michael Jordan played with, whether in his prime or out of his prime, that was other teams' number 1 franchise players, you have no argument. And they have to be Hall of Famers too. They just can't be another team's number 1 franchise player. They actually have to be Hall of Famers on top of that. Who is it? Nope. Not Rodman. He was not the Pistons' number 1 franchise player. Not even close. Okay? Who is it? It never happened. Michael Jordan would not ever play with another guy like this. These are things that Michael Jordan was trying to do to separate himself from other all-time greats by not building super teams and winning without super teams, but holding his guys accountable for doing certain things. So I think we're clear, right? Oh, and LeBron James never faced a super team. Who did he face? What super team did he face? Well, we already know the Spurs. All those guys came in the draft, right? What about the Warriors? Nope. Durant came over there, and now you got 2 other teams' number 1 franchise players. That will be Curry, and that will be Durant. Okay, you have Klay. That's not another team's number 1 franchise player. And Draymond Green, damn sure, ain't another team's number 1 franchise player. So that is out the window, folks. All those lies. LeBron James has never face a super team. In fact, it was just other teams facing him with the super team, whether they won or they lost. Okay, and that's another thing is, I think Sports and Fitness Friends did a video on this the other day about, Paul George running his mouth talking about, oh, he would have ran the East if LeBron James wasn't there. You mean LeBron James and his super team? Wade, Bosh, I don't even know if he was in the league then, but Wade, Bosh, and LeBron James, and you had Allen on, Allen on two of them teams, I think, and then Kyrie and Love and LeBron James. You mean that super team? This is why the NBA is full of women, right? They don't have no man energy, and they don't speak up like men. Call the guy a fraud for what he did. You would have won more championships if he would not have built a super team and did it the wrong way, did it a cowardly way, you mean. And again, that goes back to me talking about this. When this guy built this super team and went to Miami, where was the outrage? Nobody was saying nothing? And that's why I say this was nothing but part of the start of a script for the NBA to be, somewhat scripted and just be like, I wouldn't say scripted, but I would say sold to you as basically 95% soap opera. Because there was no outrage from the coaches, the owners, the players, ESPN, everything. Not because he had the choice to leave, that was his choice, but because him and Kobe were the best players in the league, and he went to go build a super team. And there was no outrage. Like, what? And you got to think back, even though, I called these guys in this league back then cowards because they didn't say nothing. But you got to think, they gave this guy all this help, and he's so retarded, he only came out with 3 rings in those 8 straight finals appearances. Only had the best record in the East 2 times on those super teams. 8 seasons. And you only had the best record in the East twice? Wow. Hey guys, that's a retarded kid. They already know they gotta spot this guy. Whatever. A super team, and he's still not gonna come out on top. That's how retarded this dude is. Dude has to lift weights and drink juice just to compete as a basketball player. Bro, you're playing basketball, not football. You're playing in the 210s, the 2020s. You ain't playing in the 80s and 90s. So that's your only strength, right? Is being big and beating up on skinny 3-point shooters. Nevertheless, so LeBron James never played a super team. That's why when Stephen A. Smith said what Durant did was a weak move. So Durant actually did that weak move after LeBron James had did it 2 times. And Durant still didn't build, that wasn't no super team. Just because you had the best record, that don't mean you're a super team. That don't mean you're a super team. So the Bulls had the best record, so they were a super team. So all the teams that had the best record at one time, they were all super teams. Again, a super team is 3 guys coming together that were other teams' #1 franchise players and who are future Hall of Famers, right? Whether it's prime or out of prime, it don't matter. But prime is the weakest move because most guys never did that in their prime. They might have did it out their prime, and look what happened. Basically, nothing happened. Maybe they got 1 ring in 4 or 5 years, and some of them didn't get nothing. So let's get into this. So the 90-91 season, the Bulls finished without a super team 61-21. So remember that. 61-21, 92 at the end of that season, and they were first place in the East. And I guess they won first place in the entire playoffs, right? I'm not for sure. I don't think so. Did they play? I want to say the Lakers were, but I don't know. I have to go back and look at that. The next season, they finished 67-15. So they didn't play down to a championship. They won. Oh, we won a championship. We finally won. Let's play down. Let's play down. Blah 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 blah. They didn't say that. 67-15 on the second championship run. That was 92. The next year in 93, they finished 57-25. Now, they did go down on that, but this is what you guys got to remember. This was going for a 3-peat. This was going for a three-peat. Not only that, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, guess what? After they just had repeated, it made a deep playoff run 2 years in a row to the finals and won back-to-back championships. They had to go and play in the Olympics. And guys, you just don't play in the Olympics. You just don't play in the Olympics. You got to do a lot of stuff, take pictures, go to dinners, go to magazine covers and talk to these people. You got to do all that. So you can imagine in the 93 season, they had to be tired. But they still finished second place. Which was good. And, people didn't have him winning no three-peat. This is the most ludicrous thing you ever could think that a team could do. It's not possible since the 60s. We saw the Showtime Lakers. They couldn't do it. And those teams were stacked. We seen the back-to-back Pistons. They couldn't do it. That team was stacked. And if you want to be honest, that three-peat Bulls team, I don't think it was as stacked as that Pistons team. To me, I don't think it was. Especially the first Pistons back-to-back team. And you got to remember that the 88 team, too, that lost in the finals, that thing was stacked. And of course, what we say, the Celtics couldn't do it, a three-peat. And again, by the 90s, to me, I think the guys were just getting more athletic. They were getting freakier athletic. Now, I'm not trying to say they were better players than the 80s, or, a lot of the guys came out in the 80s. But I'm just talking about it was starting to get freaky, how athletic these guys were getting. When you look at Shaq, and he's coming in 92, and the things he could do at his height and weight especially, it like, what? Shaq way heavier than Joker, taller than Joker, and could out-move Joker. I'm being serious. Most people do this. Shaq in Orlando was faster than Joker in the paint, down the floor, everything. Just saying, guys. And guess what? This was against good defense. This wasn't against no slouch defense. This was against, all-time great defenders on the perimeter and in the paint. So Shaq didn't come in, it was this dude just camping out in the paint and doing dunks and layups. And then we got to think about the Knicks in 93. Some people say that was the Knicks' best chance to beat the Bulls. And it was. I mean, they're coming off of they're on a three-peat run. Michael Jordan's out of gas. Scottie Pippen got to be out of gas, even though they're still young, but still. Like I said, they just won back-to-back. They went to the Olympics. All that stuff. This is incredible, man. I mean, Michael Jordan's legacy is just crazy. And, I know it was a big collection of guys there against, the competition, but still, man, you don't get to take a break. And maybe this was the break that Michael Jordan got to receive in those playoffs. I mean, not in the playoffs, in the Olympics, because he was playing with all these great players. And that's why a lot of dummies always, look what Michael Jordan averaged, man. Michael Jordan won this and that in the Olympics. Well, Michael Jordan played with the greatest talent ever assembled. So Michael Jordan wasn't out there trying to score 20, 25 points. Michael Jordan was out there trying to let everybody else get theirs, right? Michael Jordan was just coming off a repeat. 2 finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, right? So he went out there trying to, prove himself better than these guys that's playing with him. He wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to get, he was going to get more shine than anybody regardless. He didn't have to prove himself in the Olympics, okay? In fact, he let Barkley get the shine. See, the Olympics back then wasn't as big for the NBA as it, continued to be. I think it was even bigger with Dream Team 2. Now, I'm not trying to say they were a better team, but I'm just saying, as far as us playing our first Olympics, it really wasn't that important that, this guy get all the stats and get all the shine. wasn't like that. It wasn't no Olympic MVP, right? You didn't have no Olympic MVP. So they won a three-peat that year after fending off the Knicks. And again, they were 50, 57, and 25. I think the Knicks was 60 something. I forget what it was, but they were first place. But the Bulls, end up beating them. Again, we don't know how. I mean, we know they got Michael Jordan, but they were the best defensive team. They had the best record. They had the best home record, and that's just part of Michael Jordan's mystique and the things he was able to do with him and his team. So we know Michael Jordan came back 95, 96, and in that finals championship that season, they went 72-10. We all know about that, right? So where we at? The first season we was at 61 wins. Next season, 67 wins. Next season, the third season, 57 wins. This season, 72 wins. Okay? So let's head over to 97 in 69 wins. Wow. Almost 70 wins again. One game off, folks. So Michael Jordan didn't play down not only to a championship, but the best record of all time. He didn't play down to it. He didn't say, oh man, we did a lot last season, man. I just came back, played a full season too. We set a record, most wins of all time. Let's play it down. No, next season, 97, 69 wins. Incredible. So the last season on a three-peat again, 62 wins, guys. Incredible. 62-20 they went. He didn't play it down. We just went back to back. We're going for a three-peat. Let's play down. And this is with all kind of stuff going on, man. This is with Pippen gone most of the year. Dennis Rodman, I mean, he's not the first, when he first got there, he's not that Dennis Rodman, or the second year Dennis Rodman. This is a whole different Dennis Rodman, right? 62 wins. Incredible, guys. Incredible. So what we have here, before we go any further, 5 times out of 6 in finals championship wins, he has 5 60-plus win seasons. Incredible. With everything going down, facing three-peats, facing repeats, facing, they saying that the Pistons were going to win in 91. So Jordan could never win a championship again when he got knocked out in 95. When he played those 18 games, from coming off of playing in the Olympics, off of a back-to-back championship. I mean, it just goes on and on, man. They just didn't play down. And they only let one team be better than them in a regular season. And that team was an all-time historic team. They didn't win a championship, the Knicks. But they were great, and they were always up there contending. This is the greatness of Michael Jordan, folks, in the 90s. You can say whatever you want about his competition, whatever kind of help he had, whatever. He did not play down to the situation once he was up. As far as, he had his right team. And all great teams did that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put, when we talk about the 80 Celtics, you can go look at their wins in the 80s. Great. They was always winning first place. Look at the Lakers in the 80s. Always winning first place. So I'm just saying, Michael Jordan, he was taught from those guys. That being all-time great, I mean, you have to put up the numbers, the historic numbers. Team-wise, individually-wise, just different things. So let's look at LeBron James right here, and we'll look at his super team run. And like I said, it's going to be crazy because Michael Jordan didn't have no super team doing those things. You know what? I put the Cavs. That's funny, and we can look at that too, right? So we'll go look at the. Oh, why are y'all trying to duck out on me? I think they trying to. 11 Heat. Goodness God. Give me 1 second. This thing's trying to clown, man. I don't know why it's doing this. You know, I'm trying to go to Wikipedia because it's easier, but it's trying to clown me. It's probably Unclutched Sports because they're gonna get clowned on this one. Wow, are you serious? I'm putting right there 2011 Miami. Wow, I mean that just took forever, man, because it's about to be ugly right here. So that season with LeBron James super team, he went 58-24. That was 1 win better than Michael Jordan's. What was that? 90? What was that? 93 season? I want to say 93 season. Right? Wow, with that's number 1 record. That's number 1 record overall in the NBA easily with that super team. You would think just with him and Wade, even if he didn't have Chris Bosh, the next season, even though, was this a strike season? The 12th season? Hold on now. I don't see nothing about no strike. They end up going 40. Let me make sure where they were as far as in the division. That put them first in the division. That's crazy. And second in the conference. So the next season, I think this was a short season. It was 46 and 20. I think that was a short season. But anyways, they lost 20 games. 46 and 20. And let me see where they were. First in the division, second in the conference. Wow. So 2 years in a row with this guy's super team, he couldn't even get first place. And how weak it was, he still got second in the conference. 2 times. Wow. The next year, 13, they did wake up. 66 and 16, first in the division, first in the conference. Okay? Goodness God. The next season, in the last season with his Miami super team, 54 and 28. And he still got second in the division. No, second in the conference and first in the division. Wow. 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 With his super team. We went over 4. And we told you he only had 60 plus wins 1 time with that super team. Michael Jordan, like we just said, 5 times without a super team. And he won a conference, entire conference, without a super team. Or, yeah, he had 60 wins. So now we got to go to the Cavs and see what he did there. Because he still only had 160 win season. And Michael Jordan had 5. So let's look at this. So 2014, or we'll just put 15 Cavs. Oh, hold on, that's 15, 16. So here it is right here. So the first year he was with the Cavs with his super team, nobody's hurt. He went 53 and 24. First place in the division, but second place in the conference. Wow. Let's keep going. The next season, 57 and 25. First in the division, first in the conference with 57 wins. Still ain't got another 60 yet. The next season, 51 and 31. 51 and 31, first in the division, but second in the conference. Wow. These 50 wins is not going to get you first in no damn conference in the 90s, the 2000s, the 80s. You have to get 60 wins to be in first place. And he's getting first place in the conference. He did 1 time. in Cleveland with less than 60 wins. So 2018, 50-32. And this is what was so embarrassing about it right here. This is how you know there was no competition in the East, folks. No competition. First in the division. Let me give it to you again. First in the division. Fourth in the conference. Fourth in the conference. That's crazy. And he still made it to the finals where he got a damn diaper put on him and put away to sleep as he cried like a little baby when he got smoked 4-0 in the finals. So literally, this guy, let's break it down. He won the conference 2 times in the 8 years. Well, let's just say this. In the 8 years, he had that super team. Remember, they tell you how great this was. This run was the greatest run of all time. In them 8 years with his super team, he won the conference 2 times. 1 time in Miami, 1 time in Cleveland. He only won 60 games 1 damn time in 8 years with his super team. Really? Go look at Bird. Go look at well, let's just say look at the 80s Lakers. Look at the 80s Celtics. They won way more 60 games and won the conference way more times than LeBron James in his super teams. Are you kidding me? This is the guy that they're comparing to Michael Jordan? Really? This is the guy that they put in front of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain? What are we doing? In front of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic? Like, what are we doing? All they can say is he had 8 straight appearances. And while he was never getting the number 1 seed, but 2 times in that 8-year run, he was playing no competition really. And it got really bad once he went to the Cavs, the competition in the East. He can't even say, man, I played on one of the greatest teams of all time. According to, look how many times we won the East. That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to, out of 4 times he was with Miami, and out of 4 times he was with the Cavs, he should have won that East 4 times with the Cavs. No, 3 times with the Cavs, at least. I'm saying at least. 3 times with the Cavs and 3 times with the Heat. At least. You know what they did? They chilled. We ain't going to put in no work. We're going to let them put in the work. The same thing he did when he got to the Lakers, right? I'm not putting in the work. I know we got the play in. You got to remember, since they really put that play in, that West started getting really weak. For whatever reason, and I'm just saying, I was on record for the last 3 years saying that LeBron James has nothing to play for. Because the West is unproven. A lot of these players are choke artists. A lot of these players are unproven. So he just sits back and tells his team, no, we're not going to live up to, this standard that they're putting us at. LeBron James is the greatest, second greatest of all time. And we got a finals, well, I won't say a finals MVP, but a top 75 player in Anthony Davis. So we basically, his mindset has been, we chilling. We going to let everybody else, work hard, try to get first place, try to get all this. We don't care. We still get all the attention. Because we can lollygag and they're going to say, well, what's wrong with the Lakers? What's wrong with the Lakers? What's wrong with the Lakers? Now, if we live up to the billing and then we start to fall off, it's making us look bad. I'm being serious. That ain't the way you would want to think, right? You might think, well, that's kind of crazy thinking like that. But this is how LeBron James has always thought. If we do get knocked out, look at his team. It was better than us. Look at the record. Look what they was doing all season. I need more help. This guy didn't do enough. So that's what he does. He plays down to his competition, even though he had the best center in the league when Anthony Davis got there. I know Joker eventually passed him, but LeBron James always had great teams over there in LA. But we don't have to play up to my hype because it looks better if I lose. Now, if I win, it's going to look even better. That this team was number one and I wasn't. That's the magic of LeBron James. That's the greatness of LeBron James. That he's not trying to get the number one seed, even with a super team. Because he already knows if he has a number one seed, he's got to work harder during the season. Yep, he's got to work harder during the season. You have to play a lot of defense, basically, to get that number one seed. And I told you guys, ever since the play-in, now he can skate down there by the play-in. And he's going to beat whoever's in front of him in the play-in. Him and Anthony Davis get some whistles, put in some effort. They got more experience than a lot of these young teams. Boom, bam, boom, you're in the playoffs. You played one game. Play one game in the play-in, boom, you're in the playoffs. And whether he wins or he loses in the first round of playoffs, all they're going to say is, look, you see where he was. He didn't have enough help. Or they'll make up whatever. We already know this. And again, that reflects when we look at Miami with a super team, Cleveland with a super team, he ain't trying to do much. When you look at how many times he had the number one seed and you look at he only had 60 wins one time, that's just insane. Michael Jordan had it 2 out of 3 in his first three-peat with no super team, and 3 in a row in his second three-peat with no super team. It just don't even seem possible, guys. This wasn't Magic, Worthy, and Kareem? And Michael Cooper? This wasn't Larry Bird, McHale, Parrish? Who's this guy? Dennis Johnson? And a whole cast of other characters? I mean, goodness God. Not only that, we're talking about what Michael Jordan was doing. Not only getting a first place like he was, winning 60, but he was winning MVPs, finals MVPs, gold medals, scoring titles, steals titles, defensive first team. All those things while winning 60 games in that stretch. Did I say MVP? I mean, it's mind-blowing. And never losing 3 games in a row. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. This whole thing is the cruelest joke in sports history with this LeBron James thing. And this is how bad the NBA has become, that you don't have a commissioner that has any balls because he has a slit between his legs that can't tell LeBron James, you got to move on, dude. You got to move on. It didn't happen for you. You built your suit. What you did in the 210s, that was your time. It didn't happen. They gave a retarded kid a head start, and he still tripped in the race and fell on his damn face. Over and over and over and over again. It's just crazy, man. And, it's something to be said when you look at guys like everybody's not gone. Bird's not gone. Magic's not gone. Oscar Robertson's not gone. We know Will's gone. We know Kareem isn't gone. Russell was here at one point. A lot of these all-time greats. Is the NBA that bad that you guys can't speak up and expel this guy a long time ago? It could have been yesterday. It could have been 5 years ago. They could have spoke up and said, are you kidding me? This guy ain't on Michael Jordan's level. He's not on our level. But, they're looking for checks, folks. They need their pension checks, so they just shut up. But I can tell you this. I don't want to hear from nobody. Nobody. I don't care who it is. LeBron cronies better not say nothing. Nothing. But I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody. Any NBA players when some scandal goes down with LeBron James. I don't want nothing coming out and you saying nothing. About no juice. About this guy wasn't this guy wasn't that. Y'all been done had a chance to say it for a long time and you ain't said nothing. This guy is basically in a GOAT debate. Let's forget about Michael Jordan for a minute. He's saying, and they're saying, that LeBron James is better than Kareem, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaq, and Kobe was around back then. Kobe should have said something when he said, "Oh, that one made me the greatest." Oscar Robertson, Dr. J, how come these guys ain't saying nothing? That's basically what he's saying. He's better than you guys. Spitting right in your face, pissing on y'all legacy, and y'all ain't saying nothing. And the whole thing comes across real childish. So, to me, I think I'm going to tell the truth. Maybe after this year, I'm going to just move on, man, because there's nothing else to talk about. This is the same revolving door. With LeBron said this, LeBron crony said this, and it's the same thing that they're saying. The same repeating things that you hear on social media. This is kid stuff. If you whether you think you're the first best or second best, retire and prove it. But again, there's no. If he knows he retires, no. But if this guy went 6-6, he still wouldn't be the second greatest player of all time or the first. He knows it. They know it. But they know if he retires tomorrow, it's over. He's not the second greatest. He's not the first greatest. So he's around here clickbaiting. Well, not just him and his cronies, clickbaiting for money. Or should I say trigger baiting for money? And that's where we go back to, we got to be serious. If this guy has $1 billion, how come he hasn't retired? Because we heard he had like $1 billion a few years ago. I know a lot of people don't have any common sense, don't think for themselves, but if this guy had $1 billion, why is he still playing? If he's the greatest of all time, why is he still playing? Don't tell me for money. Why is he still playing? Don't tell me he can make his career better. No, he can't. Because if he's first or second, there's nothing Michael Jordan can do to catch him if he's first. And where we stand now, in the 2020s, nobody else has the 4-4-4 or even close to it as LeBron James. 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs, and 4 MVPs. And if you want to say, accumulated stats, okay. So how come he can't retire if nobody in the 2020s is even damn looking at that? Not even in the same vicinity. I don't understand it. So he just stays playing, poking Michael Jordan fans for what? And any other basketball fan for what? He's not a 2020s guy. That one is prime. His prime was in the 2010s where he got his ass kicked up and down the court. So basically, he's ruining it for all these other guys. I mean, Luka Doncic could have built a super team or could have played with another superstar like Joker. But instead, they send him over to LeBron James, the 4-6 loser. How many times I got to tell you guys, this guy ain't going to another finals. You guys can go ahead and forget about it. He ain't trying to get another L. So they're just wasting everybody else's career, man, with this guy. The Anthony, and this is why these guys act like this, because they know they have no hope of being an all-time great or being in that top 10 because LeBron James continues to play in the 2020s and take the spotlight for being a loser. No, I'm going to ruin these guys' career. I'm going to take the spotlight from them. I'm just saying, man, the NBA is just a big-ass soap opera. There's no more on-court greatness. Because when you watch it, where do you see the on-court greatness? Where do you see the rivalries? Where do you see the defense? Where do you see the respecting the coaches, respecting the refs? Guys playing games. Guys showing up and playing games. Guys being humble. Guys being competitive. I mean, where's it at, man? You don't see it. I mean, we can watch these playoff games, right? And they're boring. They're really boring. Yes, the ending is always, a whole bunch of drama. But to watch quarter 1 through, every quarter until maybe like 8 minutes into the game, you just yawn. It's boring, man. It's boring. You don't see it. The coach is really coaching. It's boring. For whatever reason, it's just boring. It's not exciting. And it ain't supposed to be like that because it's basketball. It's not like football, where it's low scoring and stuff like that. But yeah, you just feel sorry for him. And you can't blame Joker. He just want to get his paycheck and go back to damn Serbia. Because he knows he had to play, around the 4 and 6 loser. These guys had to play LeBron James super. These guys, what's different from the 2010s into the 2020s? Guys had to play LeBron James super team. Just whether they win or they lose, that's what they got to do. Because where would LeBron James be if he just took a team on his back like Giannis, like Joker, like Brunson, and they just played with them too? Or they just played with them, as a superstar and, made other guys great. LeBron James would never make the playoffs in the West. So, but you saw how crazy that was when we looked at the records. So look at this, and I'm about to get off of here, man. And I promise you, I'm probably about to end this whole NBA thing, because it's the same thing. Every couple months, all year, every offseason, it's just about LeBron James. The whole damn season, and it's not interesting though. It's the same thing. LeBron said this, Rich Paul said this. Some cronies of LeBron James said it's the same stuff, man. It's over. I was saying this the other day. I said, they act like his career is like 10 years into it. So look here, 2009 when it ended, he didn't have no help. He's playing with a bunch of nobodies, and he went 66-16, folks. That's crazy. Without a super team, in 2009, he went 66-16. First in the division, first in the conference, first overall in the entire playoffs, number 1 seed. Playing with a bunch of nobodies. The next year, 61-21. First in the division, first in the conference, in the number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. So back-to-back 61 seasons without a super team, and he claims he didn't have no help. And he didn't even come close to this. Back-to-back 61 seasons with his 8-year run super teams. He did have 66 wins one season with that super team. That's it. And that's with Miami. And he won back-to-back conference championships. But only won the conference one time with one super team, and won the conference one time with the other super team in that 8-year run. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you, and it goes back to where I'm not a fool. When he was with the Cavs the first time, he wasn't laying back. He wasn't chilling. And he was doing the damn thing. Once he got with the Cavs, once he got with the Miami Heat and back to the Cavs with his super teams, he just chilled. I'm not putting in any effort. Wherever we land second place at worst. Second place at worst. And we just turn it on. We turn it on later. Look at this. I want y'all to look at this. Well, you can't see it, but so this is a year when Magic came into the league. 60-22. They won the division, won the conference. Next season, 54-28, second in the division, third in the conference. Next season, 82. 57-25, first in the division, first in the conference. Next season, first in the conference, first in the division, 58-24. Was it 83? Next season, first in the conference, first in the division, 54-28. Next season, 85. First in the division, first in the conference, 62-20. What was it, 86? 62 and 20, first in the division, first in the conference. 87, first in the division, first in the conference. 65 in 17. 88, first in the division, first in the conference, 62 and 20. 89, first in the division, first in the conference, 57 and 25. See here. 90, first in the division, first in the conference, 63 and 19. 91, second in the division, third in the conference, 58 and 24. So they actually got better. They actually got better by the year, even though Kareem got old. I remember Kareem was like 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was 11 years when the hell is that? When Magic came into the league. So the Celtics. Oh, that's the wrong year, my fault. I don't know why they put that on there. You guys acting crazy. Let me see the record. Sometimes this thing be acting stupid. Like they know what you talking about, but they want to act stupid. It's like so ridiculous. So 80? Or was that 80, 81? Let me go back one. So 80, they were 61 and 21. First in the division, first in the conference. 81, 62 and 20, first in the division, first in the conference. 82. What the hell did I hit? First in the division, first in the conference, 63 and 19. 83. Second in the division, third in the conference, 56 and 26. 84. That go backwards? First in the division, first in the conference, 62 and 20. 85, 63 and 19, first in the division, first in the conference. 86, 67 and 15, first in the division, first in the conference. What was that? 87, 59, 23, first in the division, first in the conference. 88, first in the division, first in the conference. 57, 25. These are the teams Michael Jordan was supposed to beat. I mean, goodness God, in the 80s. And I think that would be it. Because next year they were 42 and 40. And they still finished third in the division, but 8 in the conference. You know, Larry Bird was pretty much, I don't think he played that year, if I'm not, yeah, he had surgery. But yeah, this is what I'm saying, guys. This is, you know, these are the guys that, you know, they try to put LeBron James in front of and say he's the greatest team player of all time. So, you know, when Larry Bird came off that back surgery, they were 52 and 30, second in the division, fourth in the conference. But that was in 91. But these are the guys. We can even go to the Celtics and their run in the 60s and stuff like that. How great those teams were, and they were always winning first in the division, first in the conference, and blah blah blah, and 60 wins. And LeBron James is not this ultimate team player. Even if he has a stacked team, when he doesn't, you know, he melts down and he loses. It's just like I said, man. This might be my last year dealing with the NBA until this guy retires. We just want to get back to the NBA. The biggest thing is we want to move on and give these guys, you know, credit or give them smoke, whatever. But this guy, in a way, he just, it's over. That's what everybody should be saying first of all when they talk about this guy. He had his chance. It's over. Whatever excuse you want to make up, they gave your retarded ass all the advantages, and you still couldn't come through. Like I said, this isn't like a debate that's going on because he's, you know, he won 6 times. Let's see if he was 6 and 2, or if he was, you know, 6 and 6 or something like that. That kind of debate. We're talking about 4 and 6, and he had way more help than Michael Jordan, and basically a weak ass East. He got spanked, and we got to remember, yes, the West at times, especially on Michael Jordan's second three-peat, was better. It was just better. But this is the greatness of Michael Jordan. The greatness of Michael Jordan, he was able to beat the West without even going 7 games. So again, folks, the only reason why it's a GOAT debate with him and Michael Jordan, because there is none. And they can just keep the LeBron fans, the LeBron cronies, and LeBron James can keep getting off just poking the bear. Because they know it's no GOAT debate. But as long as they poke the bear, they can keep getting paid. They can keep making money. And we've been through this. We keep going through this though. At first, it was like, okay, cool, whatever. Let's make some videos. Let's clap back. But once you clap back and you murk this dude, they just get back up. This dude is like Jason. You can't get rid of him. Slice them in pieces, throw them in a river, burn them up, keep coming back. They don't care about the NBA. Adam Silver does not care about the NBA. ESPN don't care about the NBA. Fox don't care about the NBA. These NBA players don't care about the NBA. And it's apparent to me that the past players don't care about the NBA. You would have thought past players, present players would have clapped back to get this guy out of here by now. Who cares about money? They're supposed to have money. Even if they're getting, some money from LeBron James, who cares? They're supposed to have money. They're supposed to have dignity, integrity, especially the guys back in the past who had to bust their butt to get where they was in the rankings. And they just let some dude come here, do it wrong with less of a skill set, do it wrong, get his ass beat, and still go up over them in the rankings. That's crazy, and they say nothing. This is what makes me just want to give up and stop this channel. Because I keep hearing people say, debating this guy. Oh, well, let me break it down and see what he really did. And we know what he did. They know what he did. LeBron James knows the truth. His fans know the truth. So in essence, we just looking dumb, repeating the same thing. And they come out on top again. Because they get to say the same thing again. And he still gets to stay in second place. And we made this video yesterday. LeBron James keeps winning without winning. LeBron James keeps winning but never wins. It's ridiculous. And I don't even know, at this point, I think these YouTube content creators, they may be like this. I guess because it puts money in their pockets and gives them views. And I'm talking about the so-called Michael Jordan fans. But when is enough? Like, where's Michael Jordan clapping back? How come he can't get a cast of his guys and pay them, pay Oscar Robertson, pay Worthy, pay these guys the clap back and make this dude disappear? Because it's the damn media and LeBron James cronies against past players that did it right, achieve greatness, push the NBA forward, and they get pooped on, and these guys say nothing. They don't care about their own legacies. That's sad. That makes you don't even want to do this no more. Why defend these guys? These guys are sitting here with all this money, and we defending them. They living a good life, so why should we have to defend them when they don't even defend themselves? It ain't like they're out here defending themselves, and we're like, yeah, we got his back. They ain't doing nothing. So if you don't do nothing, you're basically promoting this nonsense. You see your husband cheating, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. You know he's cheating. And he keeps doing it, and you know he's doing it. But you don't say nothing? I'm just using that, man. This is just crazy. I don't get it. And on top of that, this is child stuff, man. Either you won or you didn't win. That's all it is. You won or you didn't win. Y'all want to keep going with this nonsense, man. It just gets tiresome with this guy, man. Nobody's calling this out like me. Yes, we're calling him out for, being a loser, for being a fool, for being this. But we got to look at the whole thing surrounding it, man. It's just not him because he keeps getting away with it. Because you got the commissioner don't say nothing. You got the owners don't say nothing. You got the players don't say nothing. And this guy gets to win without actually winning. This guy got to be a winner without winning. So again, like I said, I'll probably be done with this, man, after this season. Because I just can't stick around with this guy around. I can't do it. I can't do it.